Hello and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Canadian Prairie. I'm Andrew Pritchard, meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, I feel like a broken record here across the Canadian Prairie. We're going to continue to keep a cooler than average air mass in place across the region, slowly again trending toward perhaps getting closer to average, maybe a little warmer than average toward the end of the 7 to 10 day period. But I feel like we have seen that, and we just continue to kind of reinforce this cooler pattern across the region. Cooler but drier. We have some opportunities for some very light precipitation, all but southern and western Alberta. Seeing a drier than average next 7 days. We will have the opportunity for some snow across this region we'll talk about as we go through this video. Temperatures right now, cooler than average, -15 to -10 across southern Alberta, getting into southern Saskatchewan, a little bit warmer over toward Winnipeg, -8 the temperature right now on Monday morning. So you look at the satellite picture here, again, we can see clear skies in some areas, and that reveals the snowpack patchy in places across the prairie, but a lot of areas seeing some sunshine here on this Monday morning. So it's cold, but at least sunny for a lot of folks. We don't have much precipitation falling across the prairie. Again, beautiful conditions to get us started here on the Monday morning, even if it is a bit chilly. High pressure in place across the region is the reason for the quieter weather and the sunshine today. As we head through the end of the next 48-hour period here, getting into Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, that's when this area of high pressure scooting off to our south is going to actually bring the flow up across the Rockies here, and that again is going to kick off the chance for some snow across this region as an area of low pressure begins to slank down the Rockies as well. So the opportunity for maybe 5 to 10 centimeters of snow in kind of patchy areas from northern Alberta down into central Alberta, tapering off to maybe a trace to 5 centimeters, and that 5 centimeters being rather localized as we head into Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. Temperatures across the region, will slowly see them starting to warm across portions of southern and western Alberta, getting into southern Saskatchewan, getting back above freezing at least as we get into Tuesday afternoon. The reason for the pattern here with this big ridge across the Gulf of Alaska, let me go ahead and draw that in a different color so it shows up, and then this big trough here anchored across central Canada into the U.S. And so again, forcing a lot of warmer air northward here in this ridge across Alaska, and that displacing a lot of cooler air across the Canadian Prairie, and now plunging into much of the central and eastern United States, bringing to an end a stretch of much warmer weather across this region. So we put it into animation, and we really keep the same pattern going as we head into the next 7 to 10 days, and that's why we keep the cooler air mass kind of locked in place. As we get toward the end of the video, let me go ahead and step through time here. So we're going through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all the way through the end of the week, and we're still just continuing to keep the same pattern, the same flow pattern going up and over the top of the ridge, down and around that trough, and that just continues to keep cooler air coming down out of northern Canada across the prairie into the central and northern United States. Take the drawing off, heading all the way into next weekend, getting into Sunday and Monday. Now we're all the way into April 20th and 21st. We're starting to break down the ridge a bit, maybe nudging it eastward slightly. This is when we could start to moderate, maybe trend back toward warmer days, but we're getting beyond days 7 to 10 at this point, so we're getting at least into days 7 to 10. So a ways out there, and the main message here is it's going to be a chilly next 5 to 7 days at the very least. So we'll look at the moisture content within the atmosphere, looking at the precipitable water. And again, over the next 24 to 48 hours, as we head through Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, we are bringing some moisture in from the Pacific with a wave that's going to be kind of coming down the Rockies from the north. So this will bring the opportunity for some snow, especially across this region, higher elevations of British Columbia, getting into southern and western Alberta. As we then get beyond that into Wednesday and Thursday, now we're starting to bring this air mass in out of the north, and we're starting to bring in a much colder and drier air mass. Drier air in place is going to keep us precipitation free for the most part as we head into the end of the week, before the next wave of Pacific moisture, comes crashing over the Rockies as we get into this is getting into Friday and Saturday at the end of this week. So opportunity for some snow here in the west as we get to Tuesday night into Wednesday. It looks like we'll be dry much of the end of Wednesday, Thursday, and then see another chance for precipitation as we get into Friday and Saturday. Let's confirm our suspicions here by looking at the precipitation forecast from the European model, bringing it back to today. Looking quiet across the prairie as we head into the day on Tuesday, late Tuesday now, getting into overnight Tuesday. We're at 6 in the morning, midnight on Tuesday night, getting into 3 in the morning on Wednesday, sunrise on Wednesday morning. And this is what we're looking at. High pressure coming in from the north. It's forcing the flow up across the Rockies, bringing the increased precipitation across this region Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. That's the reason for the snow here. This is that area of high pressure slides into the region. As high pressure does successfully slide in, then Wednesday night into Thursday, that's going to bring the precipitation to an end. It should bring pleasant, fair conditions back to the prairie, but again, another shot of cooler air across the prairie, and that'll keep things quiet then until we get into the end of the week. Here comes that next system we saw on the precipitation forecast, or the moisture animation there, with that next wave of Pacific moisture crashing in with this area of low pressure Friday into Saturday, bringing the chance for some rain and snow showers to the prairie. As we look at the temperature forecast, again, focusing on the primary prairie region here, watching the blue and the green shading kind of pulse over the next 7 to 10 days, taking us all the way into, now this would be Monday, April 19th, getting into Tuesday, April 21st. This is when we could start to see some of those warmer temperatures begin to creep into the region. Let me go ahead and animate this once again, showing you this is the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, keeping things quite cold across the prairie, getting into days 5 and 6, getting another reinforcing shot of some cooler air across the prairie, and then now getting into days 6, 7, 8, 9, days 10. That's when we're maybe starting to moderate things here across the prairie, getting back maybe above average in some places. But what you saw there for the duration of the loop here, the very first 3 quarters of that loop, is a much cooler pattern in place. And again, that all being driven, if I go ahead and bring it back here to the next couple of days, by that ridge over the Gulf of Alaska, the trough anchored here through central Canada into the northern U.S., keeping reinforcing shots of cooler air coming in across the region. Total precipitation over the next 7 days, taking it all the way through next weekend. Again, heaviest off to the west, rather dry across the remainder of the prairie here. All but southern and western Alberta going to be quite dry, talking about a trace to maybe a few millimeters of precipitation over the next 7 days, with 15 to 25 millimeters of precipitation possible here across southern and western Alberta. Total snowfall then over the next 7 days, taking it all the way through next weekend. Once again, you have to head all the way to the front range here of southern and western Alberta to find that 15 to 25 centimeters of snow, where they're going to see 15 to 25 millimeters of precipitation. Elsewhere across the prairie, very dry over the next 6 to 7 days because of this very cold and very dry air mass that's in place across the region. So your high temperatures, your overnight or your high and low temperatures for Calgary here over the next 10 days. Again, your average temperature this time of year in Calgary is right around 11 degrees. So just kind of draw a line like that. You can see plenty of cooler than average days over the next 6 to 7. We get a warmer than average day on Friday before maybe climbing back an average above average as we head into next week. Similar look here in Edmonton, Regina, Saskatoon. Again, your average high temperature this time of the year in this region right between 10 to 12 degrees Celsius. So drawing a line right around 10 to 12 degrees. I'm drawing these terrible lines right now, but here you see it. Below average as we head through the next 6 to 7 days, perhaps getting back to near average, maybe a little warmer than average, not until we get to around April 19th, 20th, and 21st. Winnipeg, very similar story. Cooler than average until we get to perhaps next weekend, early next week. Have a great day. We'll talk to you again on Wednesday morning.